The iPhone and iPad ecosystems are constantly evolving, with each new release bringing a fresh set of features, security enhancements, and performance improvements. One of the most anticipated updates each year is the release of iOS and iPadOS, Apple's proprietary operating systems for their smartphones and tablets, respectively. According to a recent report from iPhone Soft, the iOS 19 update, which is expected to debut in June 2025, will continue Apple's commitment to providing ongoing software support to older devices. In fact, the update will be compatible with every iPhone model that currently supports iOS 18, including some older devices like the iPhone XS and iPhone XR, which first launched in 2018. While this ensures that users with these older models will continue receiving updates for another year, it also highlights Apple's commitment to keeping older devices within the fold for as long as possible. However, there will inevitably be some compromises, as newer features may be exclusive to devices with more powerful hardware. The iPhone XS and iPhone XR, which are now 6 years old, represent a significant milestone in the longevity of iPhone models. Apple's extended software support for these models is a testament to the company's commitment to both performance and longevity. While many consumers expect to upgrade their smartphones every 2 to 3 years, Apple continues to provide updates and security patches to devices that might otherwise be considered obsolete in the Android ecosystem. In a world where many Android manufacturers discontinue support for devices after just 2 to 3 years, Apple's continued support of the iPhone XS and iPhone XR ensures that users can still enjoy the latest features and security fixes even on older hardware. Of course, as with every new release, there will be some restrictions. More advanced features, such as those reliant on AI and enhanced hardware capabilities, are likely to be limited to newer iPhones with more powerful chips. The news surrounding iPadOS 19 presents a different picture, however. While most iPad owners can expect to continue receiving updates, there is a significant cutoff for older devices. Specifically, the 7th generation iPad, which was released in 2019 and runs on the A10 chip, will not be able to update to iPadOS 19. This is a notable shift, as it marks the first time that the A12 chip will become the minimum processor requirement for iPadOS updates. The A10 chip, which powers the 7th generation iPad, will no longer meet the performance benchmarks required for future updates, which means iPad users with this model will need to either upgrade to a newer device or make do with their existing software until it becomes unsupported entirely. This is a reminder that, while Apple's software support is robust, hardware limitations inevitably set boundaries for how long a device can continue to receive major updates. For iPad users with devices powered by the A12 chip or newer, however, the outlook is much more favorable. They can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that they will continue to receive updates to iPadOS 19, which will include new features, performance improvements, and security patches. This is especially important for users who rely on their iPads for professional tasks, creative work, or everyday use, as they can continue to take advantage of the latest software developments without worrying about compatibility issues. As with iPhone updates, iPadOS 19 will likely bring a variety of new features, some of which may be tailored specifically to iPad users who need more powerful devices for multitasking, productivity, and creative work. Both iOS 19 and iPadOS 19 are expected to be previewed to developers in June 2025, with a public release scheduled for around September 2025. This release timeline gives Apple customers ample time to prepare for the next big software rollout, whether it's upgrading their devices to meet the new hardware requirements or simply getting excited about the possibilities that come with the new features. The public release of iOS and iPadOS updates typically occurs in the fall, shortly after the unveiling of new iPhones and iPads, which sets the stage for a seamless transition between the hardware and software ecosystems. Apple's strategy of releasing major software updates around the same time as new devices ensures that users can enjoy the latest and greatest features without being left behind by rapidly evolving technology. As for what new features will be included in iOS 19 and iPadOS 19, the details remain largely unclear at this time. According to Mark Gurman from Bloomberg, iOS 19 may not introduce a dramatic overhaul, but rather focus on refining existing features and enhancing the experience for users. The delayed rollout of iOS 18 features, such as priority notifications on the lock screen and app intents-powered in-app actions, could mean that iOS 19 will be more of an incremental update rather than a transformative one. However, Apple's history suggests that it will continue to focus on improving user experience, integrating more AI-driven features, and further developing its ecosystem of apps and services. One of the key areas of focus for iOS 19 could be the Apple Intelligence Platform, which is designed to deliver smarter, more contextually aware features across Apple's ecosystem of devices. This could include things like priority notifications, which prioritize important alerts based on user context and preferences, and Siri's enhanced ability to understand personal context and provide more relevant, timely responses. If Apple Intelligence continues to be a major focus, it could also mean that the hardware requirements for iOS 19 will be more stringent, with devices that lack the necessary processing power or AI capabilities being excluded from the update. This could lead to a situation where newer devices, such as those powered by the A15 Bionic chip or newer, are better suited to fully take advantage of the new features. While it may seem premature to discuss iOS 19 when several high-profile features promised for iOS 18 have yet to ship, it is clear that Apple is laying the groundwork for a more intelligent and personalized user experience across all its devices. iOS 18 still has many features to be fully rolled out, and some, such as app intents, priority notifications, and Siri's contextual awareness, have yet to make their way into the developer beta channel. These features, once released, will likely form the backbone of iOS 19, building on the existing framework and adding more depth to the user experience. The integration of AI technologies into both iOS and iPadOS is a key area of focus for Apple as it looks to differentiate itself from competitors in the tech space. AI-driven features like priority notifications and Siri's personal context understanding are designed to make devices more intuitive and responsive to users' needs. However, for these features to work seamlessly, they require powerful hardware that can handle the computational demands of real-time processing. As a result, the effective hardware cutoff for iOS 19 could be much more recent than previous updates, with Apple potentially requiring devices with more powerful chips to fully support the next generation of AI-driven features. As always, the iOS and iPadOS updates will include important security fixes, bug fixes, and performance improvements. Apple's commitment to software longevity is one of the reasons why many consumers choose Apple devices over competitors. The company's ability to support older devices for an extended period of time, while still delivering cutting-edge features and security patches, is a significant selling point. However, it is clear that as technology advances, hardware limitations will eventually force some devices to be left behind, particularly as Apple continues to push the envelope with AI and other advanced technologies. In conclusion, the upcoming iOS 19 and iPadOS 19 updates will bring important changes to the iPhone and iPad ecosystems, with some devices being left behind due to hardware limitations. However, Apple's ongoing commitment to supporting older devices, particularly iPhones, means that even devices as old as the iPhone XS and iPhone XR will continue to receive updates for another year. For iPad users, the cutoff for updates will come earlier, with the 7th generation iPad being excluded from iPadOS 19 due to its A10 chip. As we look ahead to the release of iOS 19 and iPadOS 19 in 2025, it's clear that Apple is continuing to evolve its ecosystem, with AI-driven features and enhancements taking center stage. Whether you're an iPhone or iPad user, it's safe to say that Apple's software updates will continue to shape the future of mobile technology for years to come.